So, it's time to launch a new product. You're excited, developers can't wait to build, and marketing already has ideas for a buzzworthy launch party. But, what's the first thing you need? That's right, a product brief. Also called a product spec, it includes critical details about your product, such as its purpose, features, target audience, product scope, technical specifications, vision, and the problem it aims to solve. Simple enough, right? Except it's not. Sometimes it's 3 vague lines that leave everyone guessing. Other times, it's a 20-page document that feels more like punishment than planning. And that's where the trouble starts, because when the brief is weak, the whole project wobbles. Timelines slip, tasks get messy, and suddenly you're fixing problems that could have been avoided on day 1. But here's the thing. Writing a strong product brief doesn't have to be painful. In fact, with the right approach and a little help from context-aware tools like ClickUp Brain, you can nail it in just a few steps. That's why I am here today, because I have written enough of them to curate these 7 steps to create a solid product brief. Let's go. You can't build an app without a great dev team. In the same way, you can't write a great brief if you don't know who you are writing it for. Start with detailed audience personas. Who's the end user? What do they need? What frustrates them? And the best way to answer those questions is by putting everything down where everyone can see it. You can map this out visually with tools like ClickUp's user persona template, so the whole team can literally see who you're building for. And here's a pro tip. Use ClickUp Brain's AI powers to refine those personas. It can analyze feedback, summarize patterns, and even suggest traits you might have missed. You know who you're building for. Now it's time to figure out why you're building it. Because a product brief without clear objectives is like going on a road trip without picking a destination. You'll just keep driving in circles. What you need to get on track are ClickUp goals. They help you break down big objectives into smaller trackable tasks and subtasks, all connected in one place. You can even use ClickUp Brain to stress test those goals. It can flag risks, highlight dependencies, and even suggest smarter ways to reach your targets before things go off track. Now that you've got your persona and your goals, let's talk about communicating expectations. Ever played a game of telephone as a kid? One person whispers a sentence to the next in the chain, and by the time it reaches the last person, the message has turned into something completely different. That's exactly what happens when your brief isn't clear. Everyone walks away with their own version of the story. That's why your brief should spell things out in simple, plain language. No fluff, no jargon. Try dictating your brief and having ClickUp's talk-to-text transcribe it for you. ClickUp's smart. AI can rewrite clunky sentences and polish your wording and tone as well. So instead of chasing down whispers, you capture ideas on the go and make sure your team always has one version of the truth. Now, imagine you are ordering a pizza and tell the chef, make it tasty. No size, no toppings, no crust preference. Just make it tasty. You'll probably get something, but it might not be what you wanted. This is what happens when your product brief skips over scope and deliverables. Too vague and your team keeps asking, wait, is this in or out? Too detailed and no one actually reads it. The sweet spot is laying out clear deliverables with just enough detail. This is where a collaborative document editor like ClickUp Docs comes in handy. You can embed links, add visuals, create nested pages, and keep your product specs, scope, and context organized in one place. Now that you're all set to build with your personas, goals, scope, and communication in place, let's pause for a second. Every product has risks, bugs, unexpected user behavior, or features that might flop. If you don't spot them early, you'll end up fixing issues the hard way, wasting time and energy. Start by listing all assumptions. Is this feature suitable for all users? Do we have the tech to build it? How does it compare to competitors? Then flag potential risks that could throw the project off track. This is where ClickUp Docs really help. You can jot down assumptions, collect team feedback through comments, and collaborate in real time. Now, risks are flagged and the path is clearer. It's time to get into what we're actually building. This is all about your solution, your product strategy, unique value, and key features. But don't just stop at listing features. Walk through real-world use cases so the team knows exactly how users will interact with your product. ClickUp's product brief template makes this easy. You can outline features, success criteria, and user interactions in one structured place. You've got your audience and your goals, scope, risks, and solutions are all mapped out. But here's the thing, products change. Priorities shift, features get added, and markets move faster than you can blink. That's why your product brief should never be static. It should grow as your product grows. And to make sure it actually stays useful, you can use a desktop AI companion like ClickUp BrainMax. It connects all your desktop apps from GitHub to Google Drive and centralizes context in one place, even as priorities evolve. By following these steps, you can actually create a product brief that doesn't sit in an ignored folder. Instead, it becomes the North Star for your project. If you found this useful, hit like, subscribe, and try out ClickUp for free at clickup.com.